really need to address. We really Hey, want to welcome you all to BNN 247, the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting live every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Don't forget to go over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook at BNN 247 and do whatever it is you do on Instagram with BNN 247. Thank you so much for viewing, especially on TikTok and on our other broadcasts. But I want to, at this moment, before we move any further, I want to introduce to some and present to others my long friend, Mr. Claude Foster.
Oh, what a nice introduction, my brother. Same to you. You know, it's been. I
Thank
missed last week. You know, we was off. I was off for Thanksgiving, but I see
Yep.
you carried on,
Yes, sir.
and I look forward to the topic today because the topic today can actually kill you.
Yes, it can.
You know, and I think our listeners might want to tune in to this show. Uh,
Oh, I got to make sure they can hear. Say, let me hear you say something, see if I can hear you.
for me,
Okay, there we go. All right, so everybody can hear now.
okay,
They can hear you on TikTok as well. I just
oh,
wanted to
great.
make sure that you could be heard.
Okay.
So go ahead, Claude.
Oh no, our topic today about processed food. The show today, literally, if you're not listening, the subject today can actually take your life away, can actually kill you.
Hmm.
And so we're going to be talking about the impact of our dietary habits on our lives, on our black lives. You know, we talk often about Black Lives Matter and police killings and us killing one another, but what we eat kills us too, and it
That's right.
probably kills us in more numbers than all the other numbers that we tend to frequently talk about. So it's an important subject. I think it's an important show, and I encourage the listeners to chime in and give us some feedback.
All right, thank you so much for that, Claude. One of the first things I want to talk about is where we are as a people in this country. We are 49.9% obese as of December 2025. We're almost at 50% fat people in our culture, just black now, of non Hispanic descent. That's what they say when you do the research.
Real
So,
black.
by us being that big, here are some of the things that happens to our people. And we've tried to find everybody and their mama to blame on why we're dying so early. But here are some of the causes of our death. Cardiovascular disease. Um, 919,000 died in the United States of America in 2022. And out of those 919,000, 124,000 black people. That's about 11%. That's not that's not that's bad. I can't say that's not bad because 11% with the population that we have, what is it? 400 million people,
40 million, about
40 million,
41, 41, 42 million.
42 million people out of a 245 to 60, 260 million people country. That's high. That is very high. We don't have enough people here to have a rate of cardiovascular disease, which is heart attacks and fatty heart disease and what do they call it? Triple bypass disease. I mean, how many people that had a triple bypass that's black? I've heard so many people talk about it. I know at least four people with a triple bypass heart surgery.
Well,
Now, in all, huh?
look at diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah, I got diabetes on here somewhere, but diabetes has been our biggest thing. And people think that it's sugar, like plain white sugar. It ain't.
Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid.
It's cool. It's that cool.
You ever, when you go home, you ever had a glass of Kool-Aid? You know how much
Hey,
sugar's in a glass of Kool-Aid?
it's very, very sweet. It's too sweet. There are five things that I can advise you to stay away from. And you and I both know we love these five things, Claude. And I don't know if I know them all, but I'm gonna try. White rice, white sugar,
Shut your mouth.
white flour, white salt, and there's one more. White milk.
I was gonna say white bread.
White bread. That's it, not white milk. It's white bread. So what were those five again? Sugar, flour, salt, bread, and one other. I can't ever get all five. I get four.
I should have.
But there's one more. Now, if you avoid those five things, that is the key to you lowering your A1C. And I don't know what A1C stands for, but I know that that is what they gauge whether you're diabetic or not. So if your A1C count, and you do go do a blood test, if your A1C count is 5.7 or higher, then you are considered pre-diabetic. Now, if you haven't had a blood test this year in 2025, then shame on you. You better go on get your kundingi on down to the doctor's office right now and get you a checkup because you are missing what's going on inside of your body. You know how you feel, you know how you look, but you don't know what's actually happening in there. Now you got major organs. You got a liver, you got kidney, you got heart, you got lungs, you got what small intestines, large intestines, colon, prostate, pancreas, a couple other things in there that I don't really know that can all become problematic. And you can detect what's going on with many of those items just by getting a blood test. Now, what we're talking about today is the love of ultra processed food. Now, the question is, what is ultra processed food? Let me start off by giving you the definition for that. Ultra processed foods. But before I do that, there are several levels to this game. You got unprocessed, minimally processed food. You got high. Well, I don't. I just have those two. So
All right.
ultra processed foods are industrial formulations made from substance extracted from whole foods, from the real item, like oils, starches, and sugars, and synthesized additives like color, flavor, and emulsifiers. Now, emulsifiers are components that hold these components together. Now, oil and water don't go together. You can stir it with a spoon all day, but if you put some emulsifier in there, that oil and water will absorb each other and it will become foggy. You won't be able to distinguish between the oil or the water. So that is what they talk about when they talk about emulsifiers, because they put a lot of that in there, resulting in products with little nutritional value designed for convenience, long shelf life, and hyper palatable items like sodas, packaged snacks, sugary cereal, and many ready to eat meals. They often contain ingredients not used in home cooking and are linked to various health issues when consumed in excess. Now, some of us are young enough to know that our parents, when McDonald's came on the scene, before we go home and cook a dinner, we go through McDonald's to get what we needed to eat. Get hamburgers, and that stuff was tasting just so good. Them fries still got me hooked, but I ain't had none all year 2025. I haven't had any fries from McDonald's, even though I love those fries from McDonald's. Now, I'm sure you have a favorite fast food restaurant. Do you have one that you like going to, or Claude?
Well, I tend to go. I go to Chick-fil-A. I know that's some political animosity to it.
Ooh,
Chick-fil-A,
we can talk Chick Fil A.
huh?
We can talk Chick Fil A
I
because
go. I
that
go
that
to
new sandwich they came out with that stayed sold out because everybody was buying them. That sandwich had over 75 ingredients in it.
Cane's.
Cane's chicken, I don't know about Cane's,
Yeah. Uh,
That- but ultra processed food, that chicken sandwich that came out with Popeyes, it had chemicals in it like crack. People bought that stuff so fast. And this is where how you determine whether something is ultra processed or processed is based on the ingredients. If you got all those ingredients in there, what are they? I mean, how many? What is it? Why does it take 75 ingredients to make one sandwich taste good? You
why
know,
does it? Why do they have to have fake food and TV commercials to make to for you to go out and buy them? I mean, why do
yeah,
they have
it
to
never
dress it
look
up and make it look so dreamy? So delicious. All
it
that's
never
fake. Yes, targeting.
now we just discussed, I just gave you the definition for ultra processed foods.
Right.
Just look, close your eyes and think about who you know and how they eat. And if they eat fast food, which any restaurant out there, to include Panera Bread,
Yeah.
to include Starbucks, are using ultra processed foods.
Right, for
Now,
longevity, because they want a long shelf life and all the business related reasons, not health reasons.
and it's
Business
about
related,
business, ain't
right?
it?
It's about business, man. Processed foods is about business.
And how much money you can make for this man that own that company.
I
And
mean,
I'll say it, I'm gonna say it anyway. That white man that owned that company, because that's who owned the company. And they are milking us to death. And I'm gonna say this right, Rob, since I said that, because this is a future topic I'd like to discuss with you, Claude. They come into our communities and make money in our communities, and they go out and buy $1 million homes with it. So our money is funding their lifestyle.
to a point. When the last time you seen a whole food in the black community?
I ain't never seen one in the black.
A whole food, home food, a farmer's market, or some a place that sells healthy foods. When the last time you seen that?
I haven't seen it nowhere
You
near.
got a Burger King on every corner. You got a Chick. I mean, you don't even have Chick-fil-A's in our communities, but you got a Burger King. You got a McDonald's.
You got a
You know,
Kentucky Fried
you
Chicken.
got the processed kings in our communities, and
And
that's
we have a tendency to want to go to these Chinese places all the time. And sometimes they don't even have to put a name on the building. That people know that they sell Chinese food. They buy that food because the Chinese put 47 ingredients in there, and you think it tastes good. They mastered the combination of ingredients.
let me tell you, in Houston, right here on Alameda,
Mhm.
you talk about Chinese, right, or Vietnamese or whatever. They got a store. I mean, it's been in business for years, right? Guess what the name of it is?
What?
Number One Chicken.
Number one chicken.
That's the name of it. And it's crowded constantly. It's out, and you go there, you get as much white rice and
Killer.
chicken.
Killer.
Killers. It's
Mhm.
called Number One. The name of the store is Number One Chicken.
Look, y'all better stay away from that number, the Houston viewers. It's not something you really want. You want to go eat.
Yeah, Number One Chicken.
So this processed food, Claude, to me, it's almost like we've been hooked. It's almost like we've been put on this drug. They put us they put crack in our neighborhoods. We got hooked on these chemical drugs in our neighborhood, and then they went after the food industry, and then they started to process the food to the point where it made them more money than and they didn't care about the health causes it gave to the people that ate it. Now, if you eating plastics and oils that have been added to these foods, it's been ground to such fine
It's to preserve.
element.
It's to preserve them so they can sell them.
It's going to make that food last.
Right.
You've seen the commercials where people take a hamburger from McDonald's and it lasts what 20 years. A
Right.
hamburger looked just like it did when it came off the assembly line 20 years later. And you are taking your kids through these drive-throughs because you don't want to cook dinner at home, and you're feeding them food from McDonald's. It's unacceptable, Claude. I'm sorry, TikTok. I just been going at it. I ain't really been talking too much to you. Al, let's talk. Let's talk TikTok. Magic, come on in here. South, come on in here. Red, Red Baron. That's the name of who that is. So I'm glad to
Okay, I
see
like
you
that
all.
name. Yeah.
Gilda, Gilda is in there too. Come on, Gilda. Miss, who is that? Mr. J. Somebody. Hello, Robinson. Nice to see you. They slowly coming in, but I didn't realize that many people was here. It's a lot of people. 1,700 and 1,700 in a K. That's pretty good. People are listening to the show, and let's keep it moving. Um, no questions yet. I haven't looked down. I might have missed something, but I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna try to keep my eye on it. Some of the things that I want to talk about are like additives. It contains what preservatives, artificial colors, flavor, sweetness, and like I said, emulsifiers. It's high in unhealthy components, typically high in sugar, which is white, salt, which is white, unhealthy fats, which are white. What else? And calories. That's what it says. With low nutritional content, no nutritional value whatsoever in a chicken McNugget. And let's talk about the making of a chicken McNugget, Claude. You seen the video where they make chicken McNuggets?
No, I don't. I haven't seen it, but I've heard people mention it.
They take every single thing that can't be turned into a leg or a wing or a thigh or a breast. And that's all it is, a leg, a wing, a thigh, or a breast. And they grind it into powder. They grind it into powder, and then they bake it. They before they grind it, they gotta bake it or boil it, and then they dry it out, and then they grind it into the powder, and then they rehydrate it, and then they send it through this thing like a sausage maker, and they cut them off as nuggets. As it goes through the thing, they just
Correct.
cut them off, and they're falling off, and they're freezing as fast as they fall off the cut line, and then they end up getting all the ingredients placed with them, which is already in there. And you can rest assured that they put certain flavors in there. I wonder who the taste tester is for them nuggets, them McNuggets. What are you tasting? What are the people tasting to
What?
tell if that McNugget is where it's supposed to be?
Well, you bring up the whole issue. It probably ain't nobody black because the whole agricultural industry and the government that oversees it ain't there to represent the interests of the everyday ordinary citizen,
Mhm.
let alone the impact that it has on us as African Americans. So that whole industry, and then you look at the politicians
Mhm.
that are supposed to be monitoring stuff like that, supposed to be making sure that what is sold to consumers is healthy and it doesn't kill you and it doesn't shorten your lifespan and all that kind of stuff. So in that sense, it's all about profit, man. It's all about. I mean, I'm looking at the. I pulled it. I pulled this up
Mhm.
and looking at The five most processed foods to avoid. Number one, sugary drinks at the top.
Mm,
Example, sodas, energy drinks, sweetened coffee, and tea. Those are popular drinks.
mm.
Those energy drinks killing you every time you drink one. You think it's helping you be healthy
And you think it's keeping you up and doing all this
and
for you?
doing all that kind of
You better drink.
it's killing
And
you. That's number one. Number two is processed meats. You just talked about talking about chicken, nuggets, processed meats. That ain't natural. That wasn't hatched by nobody. That wasn't born into this universe. That was made by man, preserved by man, and then sold to man. And then we eat it, and then we die eventually.
early,
Early, early death. Number three, packaged snacks. Who don't eat snacks?
like chips or cake.
Examples, potato chips, cookies, crackers, and pretzels. Who have
Pretzels,
you not seen?
pretzels are healthy.
No, they're
People
processed.
think that's an alternative food, a better food,
Yeah,
but it's just as
yeah,
bad.
yeah. You see somebody grab a pretzel and some cheese and some crackers. Number five, frozen slash fast foods.
So
Frozen
you eat
pizzas,
them.
chicken nuggets that you talked about,
Mhm.
and fast food burgers.
So
Those are the top five.
I'll make some burgers that people seem like they've lived on those burgers all their lives. Some folks have, and you know it's just an unhealthy food. You know what I got to tell you about this all beef patty while it's on my mind. They say that, and to the TikTok viewers as well, they say that that all beef patty stuff is the name of the company that makes the hamburger patty. When they say two all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onion, and a sesame seed bun, when they say two all beef patties, the patties are not all beef, but they're made by the company name All Beef. That's what it is. It's a play on words to hook you, to make you think you're getting a healthy product when in reality, this product is worst of the worst. But you're buying it like it's good. These people on TikTok be tripping me out. Somebody just say, "Dad, I finally found you." I'm
Oh,
laughing on that. Y'all gotta forgive me. You need to quit with all that stuff. All right. Anyway, moving on.
I mean, so where do we go? I mean, we you. I was talking to someone about we're talking about health, right?
Mm,
You go to the doctor, and the doctor say, "I'm gonna schedule you for this very important test, but the earliest we can get you in is 6 months from now."
you're gonna be
That
dead.
you be dead. That, I mean that. But if you got money, and if you got plenty of money, that test is the same day
Yeah,
or scheduled within that next
with
24 hours.
3 weeks. Do
Right.
you remember? You remember back here when they stopped the Medicaid, Medicare payments because people were going to their doctor's appointments and the doctors were saying y'all can't be seen
Mm.
today because you don't have the pay.
I,
You
I,
know the system,
yeah.
so they were not allowing these people to be seen. They had to go home. So that is just a trickeration of the beginning. That was the beginning of what's going to be happening now, where people are going to be denied health care because nobody's going to be able to pay that $1,500, $2,000 a month to cover their families.
What are they gonna rely on the emergency room, on emergency care? We have they can't turn you away, right?
See, no, they can't. They got to see you if you're dying or if you're in that type of situation. But we'll look at what's driving us to these hospitals.
Yeah.
Energy drinks, sweetened
Yeah.
juices, and some alcoholic beverages. All I'm saying to these black people that are listening to this show, uh, um, When are we going to stop? Here's somebody saying, I delivered so called all beef for McDonald's. It was every part of the cow. It wasn't steak, rib, or what were you going to follow up with? I understand what you're saying too. I'm glad you put that statement out
But
there.
but they say all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, right? They say all beef.
Yeah,
They don't say processed.
but it ain't all.
That's
That's
the
just
commercial. That's the.
that's like saying putting two War Smith-Bay patties on this burger.
No, I'm saying the commercial. The
Mhm.
McDonald's commercial. Two all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Right? You've heard that. You've heard that.
Yeah, let me put this in here right now before I forget, Claude. He said in prime cut, but what he's saying is, out of all, those are thousands of parts from thousands of cows going into the grinder for hamburger patties, and so they say that they're all beef, but what the additives, the
You know, like
soy, that half of those burgers are at least soybean and chemicals,
when you go to
plastic
when you go
and
to the store and
oil.
you buy hot dogs, right? One thing will say no. One
Hot
thing will
dog
say
in that nugget,
no. It says all beef. You're like Nathan. You all beef,
but you look at the ingredients
right?
on the back,
But you're paying beef prices because they're higher. They
because
cost
they said
more,
all beef.
right?
But still, look at the ingredients.
So when you buy,
More than I'd say seven ingredients, but you ain't gonna find too many items with less than seven ingredients.
a regular hot dog, a cheap hot dog, what are you buying?
You buying the leftover product, you buying the bottom of the barrel product that's nothing left to do with what's coming off of that chicken or that cow, that we got nothing left. We've ground up every single thing from that cow, and this is the last straw for whatever came off of that cow. That, well, I
That's
mean,
a
that's
shame.
ain't
That, that,
nothing. That's
yeah.
hoof, tail, hair, everything is in that hot dog. I was watching this series a while ago where they would take a piece of hot dog. They took a piece of hot dog and put it on the microscope,
Yeah.
and then they showed it at 100 degree, 100 times magnification, 200, two times, 200, 300. And then when they hit 400, you see everything you ever thought you saw. And you're eating and digesting that product when you just saw all these living things in a hot dog. Why would there not be living things in a hot dog? Why would there not be living things in a chicken? They got this chicken breast. Let's just take a chicken breast. Now, and we're talking healthy food now. We're trying to get from this 49.9% obesity rate to a manageable rate. And when you obese, I mean, you're dealing with a lot of things. Now, I'm still over 20, 30 pounds overweight. I want to lose that 20, 30 pounds, and I can't do it because I'm hooked on chocolate. I love chocolate. I just got to tell the truth. Once you understand how your body works, you got to understand what you can eat and what you can't eat, and what's going to make your health worse and what's going to make your health better. You can, even good things can make your health worse if you overeat it.
Yeah, but most people eat what they can afford and what
Like
they can.
ramen noodles. Ramen noodles is probably one of the worst products in the store you can eat. But many families live on ramen noodles.
They come off the
Because
shelves in boxes. Yeah, yeah.
So what else is on your mind about this food process thing?
Well, I'm. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Not. It's a challenge for Americans in general, but it's a challenge specifically for us as African Americans because of our history, because of our dietary orientation and what we were forced to eat.
And you,
On
you said, did you say tradition?
a lot of it's tradition. I
Do
mean,
you
have you?
tradition, the way we eat? It's based on our tradition, and it's based on the food that our our former slave ancestors ate. But you look at the whole picture. Why did they eat this? They ate it, and you know as well as I know why they ate it. They ate it because there was nothing else to eat, and you could not get any other food from the master's house. So you ate what you could eat. And the only thing you really had access to was ribs because they didn't understand the beauty of the taste of ribs, um, chitlin, the knuckle of the hog, hog knuckle, which is ham hock. Uh,
but
why do they call them hog knuckles or
yeah,
ham hock and
but
pig feet?
but processed fried food in general is targeted marketed to us specifically.
Back to the 20th century. I mean, we were talking about the old old foods and tradition, and we skipped a whole lot of ground on why we came from chitlins and ham hocks and pig feet to McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's and Whataburger and Kentucky Fried Chicken and Church's Chicken and Popeye Chicken and what's that chicken chicken and Mr. Friday's chicken and Mr. Tuesday chicken.
Yeah,
So many places out there to eat
because
food,
we're consumers and we're subjected to the same mass media targeting as everybody else.
and
And
we go to restaurants because food tastes good. Certain restaurants. What you got a favorite restaurant?
I mean, we go to well, I'm just as a family, we eat a lot of Chinese food.
Mm-hmm.
We eat a lot of Chinese food. We eat a lot of seafood.
Mm-hmm.
Because my wife is a native Louisianan, so that's in our diet. Uh, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
think
fried seafood.
yeah, fried.
My favorite restaurant would be Olive Garden, and I have no idea what they put in
It's the worst rate. That's the worst restaurant you could go to.
that. See, that's what I'm saying.
That's the most unhealthiest.
It's unhealthy food, but it's delicious,
See,
and that's the problem. That is the problem right there. I know this is unhealthy food, but I'm eating it anyway because I'm hungry, and I'm not considering what this unhealthy food is doing to my body. But when I go to the doctor and my A1C is 7%, I'm a full blown diabetic, then I'm saying, oh, I ain't eating it. But that's not all. Everything from Olive Garden to Starbucks, everything in between is
yeah.
killing, and it's my responsibility. Ain't nobody else's fault. It's my fault, just like it's your fault to stop eating the way we eat because these foods are not designed to keep you alive. They're designed to make somebody rich.
Now, the have you ever worked with the San Antonio Food Bank? What the food that they give out?
I've been in there. I haven't really been in there to work, but I've been in there.
Is food pretty healthy? I know in Houston the food is pretty.
It's everything that the stores ain't stupid. They give everything that's been rejected from all the grocery stores to the food bank. Everything that's been rejected now. So when they take it to the food bank, this is food that nobody else wanted, that nobody said this ain't worth being displayed in my store because ain't nobody gonna buy it.
Well, I mean, yeah, because of the coloring or the look of it or the
But see, they do the same thing with hood stores. I ain't gonna call no name HEB, but when all the routes have been made all over the state of Texas, Houston, North, North Play, Dallas, or wherever. These trucks come back to San Antonio because San Antonio is the hub for HEB. When they get back, they are going to drop. Let's say food bank is like school, Ken, food drive. They're going to drop off all that food that was rejected at the stores to the store on Houston Street. The
No,
HEB.
not just the store on Houston Street, but to the Joe V's, the one that they only market in minority communities, the Mi Tiendas, that they only market in Hispanic areas, solely Hispanic areas, low income areas. And you're exactly right. Because when they was building the Joe V's here in Houston, we was fighting it. The council member didn't want it. And we went to a tour. And during the tour, some meat had expired. And the guy was trying to take the meat out of the cooler while we were there with the politicians going on the tour. Trying to take the meat and take it back in the back so they wouldn't see it. It had already expired, and they're selling it. And even if the food is not expired, the the expiration date is so close. By the time they buy it and take it home and leave it in the cabinet for a couple of days, it's expired. It don't have like the long window in the more upscale stores. It ain't that kind of freshness. It's when they go to those stores and pull off the bread that's been there for 2 or 3 days because they want to keep that bread fresh. Guess where that bread winds up at?
And bread pudding.
No, in those inner city stores, in those inner city areas,
And they call them outlets.
or
Like,
whatever whatever name they come up with. And then stores like HEB, they're smart because if you read any black newspaper in Texas, who's one of the biggest advertisers in the newspaper in the minority press?
HEB.
HEB. So, in terms of public criticism of that, it ain't coming from the black press, who's dependent on advertising dollars.
And they
I
not
mean,
say anything because HEB, the biggest donors for most of these agencies.
well, I mean, if you look at most of the black press, the full page, any full page ad in the black newspapers is probably going to be HEB, bought and paid for. And that's just certain things we don't talk about, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like
like I
this,
say, we're fighting 1960s battles, but we don't have 1960s leadership, and our people are hurting.
yeah, we're suffering from more than just
I
our,
mean, this subject right here is, I mean, this this is actually a life and death subject.
yeah. And we're not doctors, or we don't claim to be doctors.
No, but we got family members that have just dropped dead, just had a heart attack, and on the death certificate, what do they normally put?
Yeah. I don't see that many death certificates, so I don't
Well,
know what the,
well, I mean, but you've had relatives die from high blood pressure.
oh
That
yeah.
just drop dead. I mean, you don't have to see the death certificates to know.
High blood
Most.
pressure. It's so easy for us to start maintaining our bodies. Though. The thing is, you got to go get checked. You got to go get your prostate checked. You got to go get your colonoscopy.
Well, you can get all of it checked, but like you said, if we don't change our eating habits, if we don't change our dietary habits, getting all the checkups in the world ain't gonna
You know what I'm saying?
alter the outcome. And trying to,
It's
you know,
about consumption. It's about
well,
what we eat. Now, how many of y'all can say that y'all did not go out and spend a whole bunch of money on Thanksgiving food and didn't eat one third of it? I mean, but you tried to. You tried to eat as much as you could, and you tried to sample at least everything that was there.
well, everybody takes some home with them too. I mean, that they come to the dinner with to go. They used to
They bring to go
they
plates
used
with
to depend on the host, but now they bring their own to go
them. They bring their own to go.
nice
No, they
container with multiple
wait a minute.
slots in them,
People gonna bring their own to go plates.
with the multiple things where you can put different foods in them. I mean, they bring them with them.
They bring their own to go plates.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do, though. Man. Y'all got it like that. That's all right.
But I mean, it's about money, man. It's about the dollar. It's about extracting
You got
the.
home foods though. These are home cooked meals. So are we putting too many ingredients in our foods at home too? How do you think somebody did you taste anything over the holidays that was
Well, I mean, everything's cooked from scratch. So, in terms of the spices, in terms of the kind of ingredients that go in, you know, if you're from a traditional Southern family, you know what goes in the foods that are cooked. You know,
Gloria, what kind of comments you want to make on TikTok about what we ate during the Thanksgiving holidays and some of the bad foods that are out there that black people need to stop spending their money on? Because you can go, you that little soybean hamburger you're getting from McDonald's, the bun is bigger than the burger. You can't even. Sometimes you have to check to see if any meat is in there. If you buy one, I don't buy that stuff, but I know what people go through. I've seen people that buy it. So I'm saying, stop buying it. Period. You can live without those fries. You got to go home with them kids and cook them something to eat and stop buying them that stuff, wasting your money because they're still hungry when they get home. So you should have something in that house for them to eat rather than it being McDonald's. And I'm just saying, those are some of the things that I wanted to bring up. But let me go to some local news. Let's talk about a little bit of things that are happening in the country. Ilhan Omar was on 60 Minutes today, and I was listening to her, and she was talking about the hateful rhetoric being spewed by our commander in chief.
yeah, he called her and her people garbage,
Call him what?
garbage,
How can you call Wade
garbage. He called them garbage.
Everett? They call people garbage that are from Chicago. What's your comment, Chris? Tell me something. What do y'all think? I mean, how can you call a whole country garbage? We don't want those people here. That's what he said. We don't want those people here. But you talking about people that's been here before you even got here. You know, you guys are immigrants. Omar got arrested and will be deported.
No, she didn't get arrested.
That she got arrested and about to get deported. Ain't that something? With the way things are going in this country, you might be right, Omar. Wade. Wade. I hope you're not, but you might be. He's saying it's a fact. He's saying fact check it because that's what happened. We fixing to find out.
I'm looking now.
He's looking at it right now, Wade. So we hope you're wrong, but if you're right, we hope that you are wrong. Some of the other things that are happening here. All this is in Minnesota, by the way, and there's over 80,000 people, 80,000 Somalis in Minnesota right now, and I'm sure they're raising hell. They do nothing but complain. That's what he said. He said that the Somalis do nothing but complain. They ain't got no business being here. They need to be somewhere else. So you cannot deport 80,000 people just because you don't like who they are. We don't want them here. That's what he said. I said that.
Yeah,
Then somebody else said that it's a failure to assimilate. Now, what is it that you expect people to assimilate to? Because you are not the standard of this continent. And that's what you're trying to say, that you are the standard. There are so many people mimicking black people that it's pathetic. I mean, whole countries are absorbed with mimicking the African American or the black person here in this country. So you can shut up about this assimilation. Ain't nobody assimilating to something that with no standard. And there is no standard here, especially if you're trying to set it. I don't want to get on your pedestal.
garbage. You're the president of the United States of America, and you call citizens garbage.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
No, no, no. He called black folks garbage. Them black folks.
That's really who he's talking to.
He
Us.
talking Somalians. Somalis are black.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking to us. That's what I'm saying. He's saying it, but he really pointed finger at you and at me.
Yeah, that's who he's talking to.
So don't get it twisted thinking that you're safe here in America because you make $1 million. Uh, you're not. You get deported too. And then they got this birthright thing on the play on the table right now. Donald Trump done won that too. If you're an immigrant, you're married to a citizen or married to a green card holder, then your child is not going to be a U.S. citizen in America. Only because if the old process is if you're born here, you're a U.S. citizen. So people were flocking here to have their babies.
Well, people are not. I don't think most people are blind to the fact that that part of Trump's agenda and that whole agenda, this country is becoming less and less white, and it's scaring the hell out of them.
Mhm. I agree. I knew that when they brought 200,000 Ukrainians from over there to
I
here.
mean, you never hear nothing about any other group except people with dark skin. Like you say, the Ukrainians. There are other groups that have uh, uh, that are brought into this country to whiten this country. You never hear about those groups.
But see, right now they're targeting the Vietnamese down in New Orleans. They're targeting a
I
specific
thought
group,
they was targeting
the
the
Vietnamese.
the
It's Orientals. I know it's Orientals. I don't know.
the. I know they was at Home Depot and all them kind of places targeting Hispanics.
Man, they do
See,
that in San Antonio. That's who they. I remember when they were building this neighborhood that I'm living in 1999. The boys pulled up. You see nothing but people jumping fences from.
and I'm just so amazed. Congress is so silent on what Trump is doing, man. This is like German Gestapo kind of bullshit.
The best movie I've ever seen about this administration is The Apprentice because it talks about how Donald Trump went from being the man's boy, his daddy's son, to who he is.
Hmm.
It talks about his entire life. And talks about the three rules that he lived by. Don't attack the process, attack the person. And that's what he does. Every single day he calls a woman, what he call fat something or I forget what he did, but it
Yeah,
was
he says what other people. He says out loud what other presidents have said behind closed doors or in private.
and nobody get challenges him on that. Even that he got the news people so afraid to ask him a question that ain't don't align with his agenda that they don't say anything. He could say what he wanna say and they will not address it because they're afraid that he'll attack them.
Well, the Supreme Court seems to be going along with him too. Uh,
Of when they got the majority, he got every single house stacked in his favor. But tell me something, Claude. If you was a CEO of a company, would you not do the same? You do the same. How? I mean, anybody that's a CEO of a
what?
company that's going to be successful going to do some of the things that this man's doing. I don't approve of it.
Well,
I don't.
I guess,
It,
I guess as an enlightened, I guess when looking at Trump in a vacuum, but if you look at the history of both parties when it comes to racism, they got similar histories,
yeah, that doesn't change.
right?
They
So,
two of the same cloth. They the same people. I don't care what nobody say. The Democrats and the Republicans are the same cutthroat, backbiting, booty snatching, scratching people. They are
I
no
mean,
good. I don't like.
from day one, look at the presidents, the Democratic presidents, right after they passed the what was the bill that they passed right after Reconstruction to build black colleges and all that kind of stuff, and the president that came in office right after that got rid of the Homestead Act and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
So that's the same. But when it boils down to it,
but Trump just says it out. He
putting
says
all
it.
the food out here for us to disappear. They can't get rid of us the way they want to walk in and just unalive everybody. They can't do that. So how else do you do it? First, you start with the drugs. Okay, so the drugs can't do it. So now you go with the guns. So now you see that the guns can't do it. So how do you get rid of these people
Now,
that
now,
are on your butt?
now, think about it though. Back to this drug thing. Now, I don't think this is about drugs. I mean, the Coast Guard is the one that
Nothing else. It ain't about drugs. It ain't about food. It's about elimination of the people because you don't know how to assimilate.
I mean, you gonna blow people out of the water in a boat. You gonna unalive people like.
And shoot them twice. Two people helpless hanging on to the boat. So shoot them too.
Yep.
You the Secretary of Defense and you authorized it. But now you don't know nothing about it. The Admiral did it.
And there's no major outcry in this country, man. There's no. It's
But
amazing.
there's no other leadership. There's nobody willing to stand up to what's happening in DC right now. And the thing is, once you stand up against what's happening over there in DC, you ain't just fighting him. You're fighting Congress. You're fighting the agencies too. Because look at Letitia James in New York. Look at the Como. Look at all the people that he's targeted and made their lives miserable because they called him out on something wrong he was doing. So you ain't nobody gonna call him out unless they're ready to condemn themselves because he's gonna find something on them to eliminate them out of his path. Every single person that's ever stood up in front of this man and got shut down real quick. Look at the 11 other candidates that stood up against him in 2016, 17. He told every one of them a new butthole. He knocked them down so hard that they have never came back. He told them up. Look, so even Rick Perry. Where's Rick Perry? He beat him up one side and down the other one. He disappeared. He told one man his wife was ugly. How can you attack people in that manner and still be on top?
Oh yeah, he told who was the congressman from Texas? He told his family was ugly, and now he kissing all up to him.
Now he's his right hand man.
Yep. How do you even look a man in the face that just told you your wife and your family's ugly?
And the thing is, how can that man come back and work for you and not despise you? But yet you got to show how much you love. If you don't show how much you love this man, you can't work for him. If you
Yeah.
don't eat the dirt he leaves on the ground, you are going to get fired or released or removed or drug across the coals. So he's going to do something to you. If you have never thought somebody will do something to you, this man will do something to you. That's why you got nobody standing up against him right now, because everybody know that this man will do something to you without a doubt. You have never seen a person in charge of the most powerful country on the planet today, unstable as this person is. You don't know when a nuclear bomb's gonna hit. You don't know. You don't know who he's going to attack next. He was on Venezuela's head. He's been into it with Canada. He's been into it with China. Who else? I mean, it's so many other people he's fighting with. Now you got Venezuela kissing your butt. Now they done pardon this dude, the one that got put in jail for hustling guns and drugs into the
Now,
U.S.
now he pardoned a Democratic congressman from Texas.
Quasar,
He's gonna
Henry,
run again.
and his wife. I don't know if he
Yeah.
did his wife
No,
yet,
he
but
pardoned. No, he pardoned his wife.
see, and these guys got caught with pounds of gold in their home, over $500,000 worth of golds and jewelry, and they've been embezzling money for years. 9 out of 10 of those congressmen, when I say congressmen, I mean Democrats and Republicans, are stealing money. 9 out of 10 of them. And when people get too close, like Ilham Omar getting too close, you get talked about, and now nobody wants to touch you. Nobody wants to be around you because Donald Trump don't like you. That's what you suffer when you stand up to be a leader in this administration.
So who do you blame for that? I mean, do you blame the Democrat, her colleagues? I mean,
No, it's
what?
the people. It's the system. The system is broke. That's why he's the right person for the right job for this job, because he needs to dismantle the entire system, take it apart, and then we put it back together. And he needs to keep doing exactly what he's doing, tearing it up.
You talking about
Everything
Trump?
he touch turns to caca. You know that ain't what I want to say.
Well, you got the right to say it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be clean these days because it does. McDonald's known for unprocessed, ultra processed foods, from the fries to the burgers. Starbucks drinks and sandwiches often contain additives, sugar, processed components. Dunkin' Donuts, baked goods, and coffee add additions and are often UPFs, ultra processed foods, UPFs. Subway and Panera bread, dressing, and some fillings contain processed elements. Taco Bell, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A items like chicken nuggets, sauces, and buns are ultra processed foods. All these things that we're dealing with. But the worst part of it all, our overall mortality, higher consumption is linked to a significantly increased risk of dying prematurely from any cause because you're eating processed, ultra processed foods. Gut health. Additives disrupt the gut microbiome. What is that? Microbiome. Biome. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Potentially leading to the inflammation and leaky gut. That's your liver. From 99 to 2020, 171,000 people died from liver cancer. Out of those people, I wrote something down trying to tell you how many, but there's quite a few of black people that are on that list. We also have a problem with mental health, but we are the worst people when it comes to finding help mentally. We don't want to find help mentally. We want to stay effed up in the head. We gonna stay effed up in the head until we seek mental health counseling because that is what we need these days. Associated with depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. You're getting stupid though because
Stupider.
you're refusing to go get help. And cancer, we already know if we don't get our colon checked, if we don't get our prostate checked, and who in their right mind enjoy getting their prostate checked? Nobody. Nobody enjoy that because it takes away a whole lot of how you feel. It's one of the worst tests they ever created, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's all they got, and you have to do it. The other one is the colonoscopy, which is an easy one because you're unconscious, but you're violated still. It still violates you. You have to get those tests done. And now things that people are not talking about, I got to put this out because I just remembered about what's happening here. Every doctor probably prescribes you with D3. Did you get prescribed D3?
That's a vitamin?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. I gotta
Well,
take a look.
by
That,
D3, this is what I'm going to tell you about D3. Check to see if your doctor prescribed you a D3 prescription. That doctor ain't stupid. That doctor knows already that D3 is ineffective. It does not work unless it is administered with K2. K2. D3 and K2 must be consumed together.
mm.
And if you don't, you're really not doing what the doctor ordered. This is what you need. You have to have these two together. And the only way you're going to get these together from your doctor is you let him know that you ain't stupid and you tell him. You got to tell him this is what you need, D3 and K2. Do not keep consuming the D3 without K2 because what's happening is your arteries is not helping the fatty movement tissue inside of your arteries. Even though you can not eat fat, not do anything, your arteries are still, they still have things in them that shouldn't be in your bloodstream. And what you want to do is keep them particles as small as possible. But in D3 and K2 assist in doing that. But when you're taking D3 by itself, it ain't doing a damn thing for you. It's not even improving your bone health. It's not doing anything because it cannot activate without K2. Look it up. Fact check it, like one of my clients said, one of the people said on TikTok. 49.9%, that's pathetic, black people. With 49.9% fat in America. Black people, 49.9% fat. I'm guilty, and I know many of us are. All we got to do is stop eating this sick food that's making us worse. We're the sickest generation ever, and the health care is the highest ever. You know, we didn't suffer from these many diseases years ago. We didn't because we didn't have to eat these ultra processed foods. And that is the issue right now. The ultra processed foods have taken over our neighborhoods, our children. Because if you ask a group of black kids right now, or one particular family, what do you want to eat? You already know McDonald's. The commercials are targeting our youth, and we have to do something about that. And the only thing you can do to stop them from seeing what's happening with this target marketing is cut down on the TV. Cut down on the TV. I know you're trying to create separation to help your child grow independent by putting a TV in their room. Take it out. Take it out. You can use it for so many different things. Use it for those things, but when the time comes, take it out. And that's when they get old enough to start recognizing what the commercials are saying. Don't forget that food has a contribution to our mental health. I strongly recommend to you get help. Even if you don't think you need it, try it and see what it is. You know, you got your liver, you got your kidneys, and if you never get those checked, you can end up with kidney cancer, you can end up with liver cancer, you can end up with bladder cancer, You can end up with cancer of the testicles. All these things can affect you, and you will not know. I had a friend a couple of years ago, and he and I was like this. We were partners. We worked on a lot of projects together, and he was so strong. He could whoop anybody. He was just that strong, big old black guy. But he did not go to the doctor. So when he finally went to the doctor, DJ says the kid don't watch TV. That's good. Kid don't need to watch TV because TVs are corrupting. The commercials are getting people hooked and hypnotized. But anyway, he finally went to the doctor. And when he went to the doctor, Claude, they told him he had stage 4 cancer of the lungs.
Wow.
This dude didn't even smoke. He didn't smoke. But he had stage 4 cancer of the lung. That's another area that you get. Let's see.
I'm trying to get my picture back. I can't.
I see you. I can see you and hear you in real time.
Oh, you can see me?
Foggy. You're a little foggy. That's all.
How come I can't see? I can't see you.
Yeah, you're right, DJ. Them phones. The phones are. I'm still up there. The phones are what's killing us too, because they are we're facing these phones so often that we are getting obsessed. It's like the new drug, the telephone, the cell phone. It's the new drug. So they went through coke, cocaine, coke. Well, they went through first kicking us out of the house, the men, then drugs, then guns, now food, and they've even locked us out of the job market. They locked us out of where we can live. They locked us out of federal and state loans. All these things that we've been denied and locked out of, and then they still want to pressure us as if we are the ones that are not supposed to be here. But still, they emulate us when they say we don't assimilate, but they emulate us on everything. On everything. And I saw this one thing where in Israel, Poland, or somewhere, Czechoslovakia, I don't know where it was, but all the acts were black acts,
Mm.
where they were doing Ray Charles, they were doing Stevie Wonder, they were doing Michael Jackson, all these different white people. They were doing Bob Marley. They had blackface. They had made themselves blackface, and I don't even know these shows because I don't watch them. Where they go in and try to pick the best singer with
Hmm.
Simon Cowell, that's his name, and all that those shows. America Got Talent, that type of stuff. They're doing that kind of stuff in these other countries, and the people are putting on blackface and acting and doing black songs, all black entertainers, that is. And
You are talking about 2025, aren't you?
yeah, I'm talking about right now. This is today. This is happening now. There's a country out there that does a show, and they allow the contestants to be in blackface and to come up looking like artists from the past, and even some current artists. I even saw a Snoop Dogg on there. Yeah, but he was white with in blackface. So this 49.9% obesity has to be changed, and we can no longer survive at 49.9%. Our we're doomed if we get over. We might be over 50. Look how close that is to 50% of black people being fat. That's too damn close, Claude.
Yeah,
That's too
too
close.
close.
Brothers, sisters, please do what you have to do to lose the weight that you have to lose to get this tragedy down, because that's what it is. And all these places like Kentucky Fried Chicken, uh, um, Popeye's Chicken, somebody Popeye, Pope, somebody with it, Pope
Don't,
up, is it?
don't be prejudiced. Popeyes, Burger King,
Mhm.
Chick
All of
Fil A, all of them.
it. So stop eating all that stuff. I'm writing this down because I wanted to say this. Potpourri.
Potpourri.
Anyway, stop eating at these crazy places. If you do eat, or if your children eat, do it in moderation now. At one time you have to consume that whole burger that you got from McDonald's. Throw half of it away or a quarter of it away. Throw something away, because the only thing you're doing is saving yourself time on this planet. The whole objective of the whole thing is to live longer. And if you keep eating this type of food, you are not going to live longer. That's that thing simple. If you keep eating what you're eating right now, you're not going to live longer. I'm asking you, as the host of BNN 247, to stop eating the way you eat, and think about every morsel you put down your throat. And it becomes a stigma for you, where everything you eat, you're saying, how many calories is this? And when you go in the store, you want to buy you a loaf of white bread, think twice. Look back at the ingredients on that white bread, and then go look at some wheat bread, and then go look at some natural grain bread, and see the differences in what you are eating. You gotta do this. Organic stuff is bull crap. Don't believe the hype. It's good food now. Don't get me wrong. And basically they're grown without all the additives that a normal farmer would put on their food. But organic is only good as the people who only good as the people who grow it, but it doesn't make them the authority on producing that particular item. Unprocessed, minimally processed whole foods like fruit, vegetables, milk, eggs, and meat. Processed foods, simple additions like salt or sugar to whole food, and that could be something like canned beans and cheese. Processed culinary ingredient, basic items for cooking, oil and butter and sugar. And then you have ultra processed foods, which is the final. It's the final. Now, when they've exhausted every other way to use this as food, they get to the final use of it, ultra processed, the final industrial product that combines elements from all categories into new form. Into new form.
A new animal.
Yeah, a new thing. Like this burger may not even be beef, but it might have been made by a 3D printer. It might have been regrown in a lab. It might be what they call them, a clone. You don't know what you eat. You go to these places and you get these big old steaks and let it be red in the middle. I like a little blood on my steak. I've seen people eat steaks. Technically, that steak was raw. Oh, this is good. Ah, you don't even know where that steak came from. Could have been put together by a 3D printer, or it could have been bought off the back street market. You don't know. Breakfast, sugary cereal, breakfast bars, and flavored yogurt, meals like chicken nuggets, microwave dinners, pre-prepared pizzas, instant soups. Soups been on the market, been on television and the news lately about Campbell's soup being uh, 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 for poor people. It's a processed, ultra processed food for poor people because the rich ain't gonna drink that. You ever tasted Campbell's soup, the noodle soup, chicken noodle soup, which what they promoted to us when we used to get sick? We all go buy Campbell chicken noodle soup, thinking that's gonna solve our big problem of being sick. And in many cases, it did. At least we thought it did.
Well,
But
we
that
wasn't buying the
thought,
ingredients. We were buying the name, Campbell's.
yeah, we were buying the name.
We buy the name, McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
Chick-fil-A. We're not buying
Right.
the product. We're buying the name.
Mm-hmm.
We're marketing. We've been marketed to, and we've been convinced that these products are good for us based on marketing, not any kind of qualitative research about what we're talking about on the show today about what's really in these foods. That's not what's marketed. The name, the brand. When we bought Campbell's soup, we buying the brand. Campbell's is the best. You go there and you look up on the shelf, all kinds of soups, but you can trust Campbell. It's reputable, name brand.
You
You
can
can
trust
trust us.
TikTok.
You can trust us to cure you.
Evelyn, you can trust Campbell.
Right.
I like that. That was a good one, Claude. A good thought. We're not buying the product, we're buying by
The
the name.
brand, the marketing. Why do you think
Brand.
they spend so much money on marketing?
Hmm?
Why do you think every 15 minutes of a newscast is commercials? How about the news of the people that's killing you on the commercials? Ain't no reporting on that.
What you just say? Say that again. The people that are unaliving us are advertising to us
Right.
at the
And
same.
they're not being reported on.
Oh, I forgot one thing.
Was that?
Then they sent the police at us.
Yeah.
And all that, I mean, that's just another thing. If you think of all the things they've sent at our people, and we have survived and thrived
Yeah.
in the process. You know, they put the cannons on us, they put the dogs on us.
But this time around, I'm kind of scared because, like I said, we got 60s problems, but we don't have 60s leadership.
Well, why? Why don't we have this leadership? We don't have the leadership because the moment we step out, we become that target.
Well, that's
It's like
one theory. The other
y'all
theory, no, that's one theory. The other theory is that they've been bought off.
pack. And I was just thinking about that this morning. I'm glad you said that because I was saying I wanted to do a forum with leaders of the community. And then I started thinking about who are the leaders of the community.
Right.
And everyone I thought about were bought off. And I said, I don't want none of them. And every time you turn around, people are portraying them as the leaders of the community, and they ain't DODO.
they've
They ain't
been
no
they've been marketing them.
city where you are right now. And think about what I'm saying. The leaders that you have in place, like Claude said, they've been bought off.
Well, that's just one theory. I mean, bought off, paid off.
The true theory in my mind, because they're no longer representing the people, they're representing the corporation because the corporation takes care of their families.
Who
With
fund? Who, who do you think fund the Congressional Black Caucus every year at their big event in D.C.?
some
It ain't.
corp- some corporation does it, and that corporation does it because it has the resources and the money, and it knows as long as I got them in my pocket, they're gonna be my stooge, or flunky, or whatever they call them. They're gonna be that individual. They're gonna be that individual that I want to not be on my case. And in order for me to keep them off my case, this is what I got to do, and I'm gonna do it. And the second thing I got to do is keep marketing towards them because if you hear something 7 times, you are more than apt to remember it. If somebody tells you something 7 times, you're gonna remember it. We've been on a little over 1 hour, and that's about our time limit. We don't want to go much further than that. So what I'm going to do is tell you some of the things that are happening today, which I covered already. But I do want to say that these ultra processed foods that we eat, they're high in unhealthy components. If we don't stop eating these products, we're going to die or we're going to be unalived a lot earlier based on the foods. It's not that you're naturally fixing to go or you're naturally out there and something happens. Naturally, if you keep eating this is going to be the unaliving of you because it's not a good food. These are not good foods we've talked about today. So, you, Nicholas, I'm asking you to stop eating these fast food restaurants. Stop giving these little stores the money that they take out of our communities immediately. They don't spend a dime in our communities, but they take every penny you give them out of your communities that day. That day, that money's gone. The money you put into that entity that's in your community. Don't do it. Stop doing it. And lastly, support the boycotts of Target and any other facility that don't offer you 100% Class A service on everything that they offer. And that includes DEI, not removing the DEI now. I can't stand the DEI way they changed it. Why couldn't it stay affirmative action? Why did it have to change? Why did he have to go touch that? He's touching every single thing the government has. And in 1 year, look at everything this man has touched. He's touched so much stuff, it's unbelievable. And now it's the issue of birthright citizenship. It also is the issue of hepatitis B. The shots are no longer required, but according to the World Health place, the World Health Organization, that every child born should get the hepatitis B shot. This is what they call a win for Kennedy. Israel has basically abandoned all those people and left them out there to die, and we have not went back and tried to do anything about it. You know, everybody's talking about DT's plan for this area, for that area. He is not the savior of the world, but you're placing him in this position. Why are you trying to make him the world king? That's what it sounds like. You trying to put him in charge of the world? He can go to Venezuela and say they got it. He got them in the palm of his hand. He can go to China. I got them in the palm of my hand. He can go to Japan. I got them in the palm of my hand. Germany, I got them in the palm of my hand. Britain, I got them in the palm of my hand, which he does. What is it? What is it, America, that we are not seeing on the black side of town? This is the Black News Network, BNN 247, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting live every Sunday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe, like us on Facebook, and do whatever you do on Instagram. But today, I want you to have a great day today and a better day tomorrow. And always remember that nothing ever comes from disbelief. Nothing ever comes from disbelief. believe in yourself and believe in what you got to do. I'm signing off, and I will see you all